we go. All right. It's that time. Oh, Britt, you are like fast. There we go. This is Billy Britt. She know. Here we go. All right. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. Listen, drop them bees in the chat. Drop them bees in the chat. Be better, my guy. What's good? Hope all is great. There we go. Drop them bees in the chat. Bees in the chat. Drop them bees in the chat. The bees in the chat. All right. What's good, Danny Williams? What's up, man? I'm chilling, bro. Hope all is great. Happy Monday. It is Motivation Monday. I got two special guests coming on tonight. We're going to get it in. We're going to get it in. Before I bring them on. Now, Facebook, I don't mean nothing against y'all, but I focus more on Instagram. I got more interaction in Instagram. I bring my guests on Instagram. But Facebook, you still going to get this game. You're going to get to hear it all. And I'll turn down my theme music once we get it popping. But first of all, before I bring on my guest today, I just have to say thank you to everybody. I can't just say South Florida because people came from New York. They came from Atlanta, from Texas, from Cali. Yo, drop in the chat where you representing right now. Drop in the chat where you are representing right now. Bill Marketing Group, what's good? What's good? E Will Noob, what's good? Vegan Queen, what's good? What's good? Lala, Be Better, Missy Nash, Rhea, what's good? Jay, I pay top dollar. Oh, I got that one. What's good? What's good? I love it. Drop in the chat where you repping. Where you repping? I see Virginia. I see Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, California. Britt came from Cali. Candy Amore, Texas. Thank you all for everybody that came to the Hive Community Networking event. Oh my God, it was insane. The speakers, insane. The music was hype. The food, everybody. Yo, I'm still like tripping on how good the food was. New York in the house was good. Fayetteville in the house was good. Miami in the house. ATL in the house. Let's go. Oh, man, I was so hyped. I am so appreciative of what everybody came out to support. Louisiana in the house. Let's go. Q, my guy, was good. I wouldn't have thought that we would have had 200 people popping up to this event so early. We just started this. This is the third one. Brooklyn in the house. I went to South Shore High School, yo. Brooklyn all day. But it turned out amazing. And the whole point was to bring out all the entrepreneurs of South Florida so that we can start building together, so that we can show people that, yo, we ain't just about, partying and beaches. But people came from everywhere to show that, yo, we could all come together. We could all support. So I got to bring in, I got to tell everybody this, thank you again. I got to tell you that we raised a good amount of money. We raised like $1,400, I think, in cash for our November to Remember charity event. That's plus all of the lives, right? In the lives, we've raised another $1,000. All the badges that are dropped. We also raised probably 2,000 in toys, worth of toys, maybe a little bit more that people donated, apart from the cash donations. Then last month we raised another 1,000 that I'm gonna match, so that's 2,000. And my guy Van said he would match, so that's 3,000. Yo, we going, and we haven't even hit November to Remember event where we're gonna buy out the Super Walmart in Miramar. And then we're going to take that over to Kids in Distress and another charity, Children's Harbor, that we're working with. Thank you for those badges, everybody. Thank you. All right, so tonight, as we said, is Motivation Monday. So we got to get into it since my theme song is running out right now. We're going to get into it. But I got to bring on my peoples. Let me see if I can find them real quick. Let's get them right here. We got Bam, and we got the Queen. Bam. Let's get them in here. Let's get some of the music playing right now because we're going to get it in. We're going to get it in, right? Yo, my guy. What's good, fam? Bro, I'm hyped, man. I'm excited. Let me change this music while we're going. I'm excited, man. It was an insane weekend. It's Monday. It's a new week to kill it, new things to happen. I tell people that I'm always excited on Mondays, yo. Everybody. I'm so mad I didn't. I'm in the next one, though, man. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. This one, listen, I'm not saying I wasn't going to tell everybody and I don't expect it to be big because I do. But to be honest, this was just the third one. So I was like, okay, we slowly growing. We had the first day was like, the first month was like, say 50 people because it was supposed to be a hurricane that day, right? Then the second month, we had like almost 100. This month we exceeded 200. It's like it just kept growing, and we had speakers, we had more partners involved. We had a food truck, we had music, we had everything. It was insane. So it's just growing, bro. But it's all in support. I think it's because one, we're giving away free information. Two, we're giving the people a chance to network. Three, it's in support of a good charity and helping kids during the holidays. So you can't be mad at that, You doing your thing, man. I appreciate it. You doing it up. And so shout out to my man Gooch, man. We wouldn't have came to that mastermind, we would have never met, man. So that was off the chain, bro. For real. Was that the first one that we met at? It was there, right? Yeah. The first time we met, yeah. You're right. Yep, because then after that, it was in at Shan's thing. That's the next time I saw you at the white party. Yeah, bro. Shout out to Gooch for sure. Let me tag him, see if he around. He come up in here. Britt, tag in Gooch. Let's see if he come in. Thank you for the badges that are already being purchased. The badges are going towards our November to Remember charity event. Now, we're going to start the conversation. We're going to talk about courses and credit, right? Let me tag our credit expert. Even though I am a credit expert, I like to bring in other people so that we can share the platform and we can get different perspectives. You feel me? There she go, the queen herself, the mogul herself, Princess Dior. Yo, Princess, I became like a DJ this weekend. Everything I did when I was on the mic and I was introducing people is like that. It's like, it's Princess Dior. Yeah, I was hyped. Always hyped. So listen, before we get started, I want y'all to give the people, I'll do a little intro myself for those who are joining right now who don't know me. And then I want y'all to also give a little intro about what you do, what's your specialty. First of all, Princess, meet Justin. I don't know if y'all met before. Justin, meet Princess. What's good? All right. So, oh yeah, they go Britt. I see them all up in there. All right. So first, for those who don't know, it's your boy Beez, business builder Beez, right? And yes, I could talk to you about credit. Yes, I could talk to you about Turo. Yes, I could talk to you about VAs. Yes, I could talk to you about e-commerce. Yes, I could talk to you about home health care. All of these and more. I have my own companies, right? But what I talk to people about is how to create autonomous businesses, right? Because my corporate career, I was an IT strategy management consultant, and that's what I did for Fortune 500 companies. I would go into these companies and show them how to re-engineer their process to be more automated, to have more efficient teams, right? So process, systems, and people, that's what I do. That's what I do in my companies now, and that's what I teach people, how to create these companies that can scale with process, systems, and people and be autonomous so that you reclaim your time and your true freedom, that time freedom, all right? And then I'll go, ladies first. I go to Princess. Please give that intro.
Yeah, let's get it. So my name is Princess Dior, the mogul. This all bars, no fluff. Don't let your mentor fluff you, because I ain't gonna fluff you, dig? So I do car rentals. I've been in the car rental industry since 2016. Haven't paid a car note since then. I've been going crazy on the exotic side. I also do credit repair and funding too as well. I call myself the creative entrepreneur. I love stuff. I talk about contacts and contracts. I'm gonna give you an example of that, and I think everybody should do that. Like me and Beez, right? Beez is in the car rental street in Miami. If somebody calls me and say, Princess, I need a car in Miami, I'm gonna hit my Beez up, and I'm gonna send that referral. We're gonna break bread together. I think that's another way for people to make money without even owning, cars. That's all I did too as well. And then I also, during the pandemic, people don't know this, I turned a pandemic into a pandemic, meaning I was renting out my purses, making, 5 to 10K a month. I was renting out my Dior purses, my Gucci purses, my Louis Vuitton for all the ladies out there. That's something you can do too as well. That's why I call myself the creative entrepreneur. I let it throw alley shoots. It is.
I love it. I love it. There we go. Listen, Princess is the real ish. Princess go heavy. All bars, no fluff. I love Princess, man. But let's get it. Let's go on to our next guest. What's good, Justin? Tell the people about yourself.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? I'm Justin Burns. I'm actually the founder of Maestro, actually an online course platform. We host your course, and you take the knowledge out of your head and turn it into income. What I tell people, man, is we are in the perfect time to really be able to just, take what we know and turn it into, I call it digital money, baby. Like, that's where the money is. So taking what you know and actually being able to sell it to other people, being able to get some of them internet coins, you need. So that's what we teach people, man, because that's really like the biggest opportunity. You got all these people out here, they want to know how to make side income, they want to know how to, monetize their expertise, man. But they realizing that, listen, all the stuff out there that they earning, and they go to college, they get a student loan debt, they do all of this stuff, and they looking for ways. They want to know how to do credit. They want to know how to do real estate. All these things, man. So it's the perfect time. You got platforms like Instagram, you got platforms like all type of stuff, man, that everybody got access to, man. So I'm excited to with the people, man, the truth of how to really get some of these digital coins, man.
Digital coins, baby. That's what's up. I'm telling y'all. Some of the heaviest movers that I know right now, everybody's in that digital space. My guy Grizzy, we talk about digital products overall. And sometimes a digital product, it could be an ebook. Yeah, it could be this, it could be that. But creating a course based off of what you know, right? And most importantly, what you've executed on, right? Because we don't want a bunch of people out there capping, talking about, I just took this course. Now I'm going to create a course on it tomorrow, right? We want to make sure that it's things that you executed on. We want to make sure that it's things that you are knowledgeable in. And don't worry if you don't know every single thing about that specific topic, as long as you know more than the next person, right? Then that becomes your avatar. That becomes who you are targeting, and that's your audience. Don't try to teach somebody that's doing better than you what to do. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to teach, if you're going to create that course, check out my guy Justin, Maestro, baby. That's how we go. Listen, especially we support our own. We support Black businesses, right? So let's get it. Now, first topic of tonight. So we bring this courses and credit together, right? Because I always tell people that there's only two ways you are going to learn in life: mistakes and mentors, right? So which one do you want to choose? You could go in on your own and struggle through and make the same initial mistakes that everybody make, or you could get a head start. But a lot of times people is like, I can't afford that course. And my next question is always, well, how much does it cost you not to join it? Right? How much does it cost you to not get that information that's going to make you however much per month, 6 figures, hell, 7 figures in some cases. BBI, we go heavy on what we talk about, so people making money, right? So let's start with you, Princess. Tell the audience, if they trying to get that course, right? They trying to invest in themselves. What would you recommend from a credit perspective to help them to get that course, especially business credit?
To invest in the course, right?
Mm-hmm. How could they get that course, if they don't got the cash?
A bank that's really lean is Navy Federal. Everybody knows if you apply for a Navy Federal credit card late at night between 12 to 4 a.m., they usually give you $15,000, $25,000 if your TransUnion report is good. Not even see people with like a 580 credit score get approved for Navy Federal cashback credit card for at least $5,000 or $3,000. So if that course is about 2 or 3, then you can use the credit and buy that course too with that credit card. And Amex Hilton is like my favorite credit card to get approved for. I'm getting approved. Everybody in my approved for this credit card too as well. And they pull from experience. And I believe the lowest credit score I got somebody to approve with is like a 620, a 610 from experience. And they got approved for like $2,000, $3,000 too as well. On the low end, if your credit isn't there. But if your credit is like in the 700, 720, then you need to go ahead and apply for at least, I know the Barclays API card is really good too as well. And then you can go to your local bank too as well, like Chase or Wells Fargo, get a credit card, and then also get a line of credit too as well. And then that's how you double dip.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, I heard them bars. What did I say? All bars, no fluff. And what was the first part you said? When to apply for Navy Federal?
Late at night, between 12 a.m. and 4 a.m. I'll be Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. There we go. There we go. Listen, I don't understand when people hear something like that. Like, what would you even hesitate for then at that point? You know what I'm saying? You got the game right there, and then you could use that money for even other things. And we're gonna get into that in a bit. We're gonna get into some of the travel hacks you could get with these cards, right? But before that, Justin, my man, tell the people. So now they got into this course. They doing their thing. They started their business. They becoming an expert in the game. How can they then take it and monetize by creating their own course? What are some of the things they need to look out for before getting into a course, or how to structure their course or anything like that?
Yeah, so the first thing is, man, like before you even start, right? The one thing that you want to do is you want to make sure people even want to buy it first. Like this is the biggest mistake people make, right? Like let's say you got an idea for a course. Let's say, you teach us something, you're a credit expert, you're trying to get your expertise out there, real estate, insurance, whatever it is, like you create a course on any topic. But the biggest mistake I tell people, don't create the course first, right? That's the biggest mistake most people make. They try to create it first because then you got to go out there, you got to try to find an audience, right? Here's one way to do it smarter, right? I don't know if you remember Kickstarter, right? Here's what companies would do. They were real smart about it. They realized they would be spending millions of dollars trying to develop these products, like most people do, right? They try to go out there, spend all their money out of their bank account, developing the product. What they used to do, and they still do it, they develop one piece of the product first, and then they pre-sell that product to see if the market wants it first, right? That's the first key. The market wants it first. Then mass produce the product after that. So what smarter way to do it, instead of you doing it the hard way, you build it, nobody purchases it, or you get one or two sales, this is the smarter way to do it. You pre-sell your program. So you map it out, you map out what you're going to talk about. Let's say you teach credit. You have your 3 to 5 points that you're going to teach. Those are the modules for your online program. Then what you do, this is a smart way to do it. You actually build out a waiting list where people can actually come into your waiting list, and they give you your email address, you building up your email list, and then you say, hey, I'm about to release this course on this date, right? So you see if people are interested in the topic first before you even drop it, right? So now when you're building your email assets up, now before you build it out, you got the bare bones essential. Now here's the thing, you ain't recorded one video yet, right? You ain't recorded one video. So what I do typically is I run, after I kind of get some people say Instagram, I do Instagram Live, something like that. Then what I do is run a small traffic test. I'll maybe spend like $100, $200 on some Facebook ads, YouTube ads, and I'll see if people are interested. Then I'll drop a link, which you can do this with Maestro, shameless plug.
There you go.
Then I'll drop a link and say, hey, I got this course that I'm pre-selling. You can get 30% off, 20% off before I drop the course, right? So now, watch this. Now what you're doing is you're getting paid to actually create the course, right? Get sales before you even create the online course. Then you get fancy and go out there and start creating videos, get the camera equipment. That's how I funded my first company when I didn't even have a lot of money in the bank.
Early bird special. I love that, bro. Yo, let me tell y'all something, right? Audience, hear this. What Justin just described, I did this with an actual business too, not just like the product, the course itself. You don't always have to sell, right? By speaking to your audience and seeing what they want it can tell you what to do, right? Exactly what Justin just described. When I started out as a full-time entrepreneur, when I left Microsoft, I started out in e-commerce, right? And I was selling on Amazon FBA, and within about 17 months or so, maybe 18 months, I made my first $1 million. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I was in a course, a group, a network. It was probably about 3,000 people in there. And then I started talking to them. I was like, yo, what is the biggest pain point that you have, right? Now, everybody agreed, because I was also an e-commerce seller. All of us agreed that it was dealing with the supply chain, dealing with China. Damn, I don't know how to trust. I don't know how to find a good supplier. I don't know if they're actually good. I don't know how to pay them right. I don't know how to get the inspection. I don't know how to deal with the shipping. I don't know the Incoterms and the different jargon that they use, right? So I was like, okay, bet. So what I did is I went and figured it out. I perfected it for myself first. Then I said, okay, I created a business, y'all, and this business will help you to do all of that. Now, everybody in there, because I was networking with them, they started tapping in with me. I got another business to 7 figures without running any ads. Why? Because I tapped in with them, who was already, we was already networking with each other. I asked them, what are their pain points? What are the problems that they have? Because I'm not going to sell them a product. I'm not going to sell them a service. I'm going to sell them a solution, right? So now I got that solution from them because they told me what they wanted. I went and created a business around it. And then I got the company to 7 figures without having to run one ad. So that resonates with me with what you're saying, Justin, because I was like, yo, that's perfect. That's how you should do your courses. Let people tell you what course to make. You feel me?
That's the thing, man. Like most people, they spend all of this time trying to figure out, like, how do I sell the course? Man, let people tell you what to sell them. Like, don't try to reinvent the wheel. That's why I see a lot of courses that don't actually sell. They think like easy as, let me give y'all some game just real quick, right? Most people think, man, if I just go and sign up for this service, or if I set up this sales page, people just gonna flock and give me their credit card. That is not how it works. You got a lot of competition out there. So the way that you are different, you just said this, people they don't buy information, they buy transformation.
Say that again. Say it again.
People don't buy information, they buy transformation. They do not care that you're gonna give them the game, and there's 1,000 people saying the same thing that you're saying. They don't care about that. But if you can really define their pain points and the things that they're going through better than they can describe it themselves, they can look at your page, they can look at your course, they can look at whatever product you selling, they can be like, that person, they taking the words out of my head. They get it. That's when you got somebody who gonna pull out their credit card and purchase. I told an influencer this recently, because they were like, yo, I got my Instagram, I got my buyers, and you can create a really big, Instagram follower and sell your course. But I said, here's where you got a real business. This is when you know you have a real legitimate business. When you have somebody who don't know who you are purchase a product from you and pull out their credit card.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But when you do something like that, see, you can scale to the moon because you understand the market and what they know. And that's when you have a legitimate business. It's cool to sell to your followers. You can make a lot of money selling to your followers. But when you're able to pull out, when they say, man, I don't know who Beez is, but this brother is speaking my language, and I'm going to pull out my credit card and purchase what he got to offer. That's when you got to reach. That's when you're able. It's fucking spicy.
Facts. So here we go. I'm gonna take a quick interjection, intermission or whatever. D, that marketing kid somewhere up above, had asked, how do you network? How do you start networking when you get in those groups? So since you were asking the question, and since somebody else also asked me this question before, I will be dropping how to network mini course. Because that's my specialty, right? And everybody comes to me, they're like, yo, Beez, you the king of networking. So I'm gonna drop a little mini course. It's an inexpensive one. It's just for you guys to understand how to actually make these things happen, how to be intentional about your networking, how to follow up, how to get everything that you need so that they can create these relationships that lead to so much more. So I don't have none of this set up right now. You just posted that on there, but since y'all are asking for it, I'm gonna create the solution. Text, Britt, can you type the community number for me? And I want y'all to text networking to this number that you're gonna see in a second, and then you'll be on the list, and you will be one of the early birds that will get it at dirt cheap. There we go. Let's start. As soon as, you feel me? So all right. So now, Princess, let's talk a little bit more about credit, because now we know we could get we could get into the courses that we want, which is going to give us that information that we need so that we could then build our businesses, right? And then potentially create courses of our own and such, right? Britt, don't forget to drop that number for me, Britt, so I could tag it. I could post it, pin it. Now, Princess, tell me more about credit, because a lot of people are hesitant when it comes to credit. People are like, listen, before the last couple of years, I was hesitant on credit. I didn't know about credit. I didn't understand how to utilize credit the right way. It took a while for me to really break my mindset and to change my culture. I'm Jamaican. I grew up in a Caribbean culture where it was like, yo, credit's bad. Stay away from credit, right? So, Princess, tell the people how to embrace credit. What can you do with credit? How powerful it can be.
So credit can be very powerful, but people need to understand the difference between having a great credit score and having a great credit score with the data points. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. My little brother got a 700 credit score, right? Because he's the authorizer of my credit on my some of my cards. But he cannot go into Mercedes-Benz and buy a $30,000, a $50,000, car under his name because he doesn't have the correct data points on it. He doesn't have primary accounts like that. But let's just say my auntie, who has a 650 credit score with a house note, a car payment, 3 open credit cards, and less than 4 inquiries, she can go into Mercedes-Benz and get it approved instantly, for a $30,000 to $50,000, card. So that's the difference between having the different credit scores. People always think that you need a great credit score to get approved for stuff, but you need to understand you need to have the correct data points on your credit profile to get approved and have a great APR percentage too on certain things when it comes to houses, when it comes to cars, when it comes to credit cards and stuff like that too, that people don't even educate you about. They just talk about, having a 750 credit score, but nobody talks about, what primary accounts we have. Not just authorized users, primary accounts. Let's get your own, accounts too as well. So a way for you to build up your own primary accounts without the authorized users is signing up for like a self-lender. Doing a Navy Federal Pledge loan, meaning you use your money in the bank to make your own installment loan. Another way is also kickoffs. Rent reporters too as well, where you can report 2 years of back rent as a primary account on your credit profile to help your credit score boost too as well. This is all the credit builders that I use for my credit clients to help them get to a 750 credit score in less than 90 days. And it gives them great buying power too when it comes to getting a car with a 4% APR, not an 8% APR. People going to get a Mercedes, they got bad credit, and they got like $1,000 payment on a $30,000 car. Like, that doesn't make sense. Stuff like that. So that's the difference. Did I answer the question?
Yeah, for sure. So that's part of it, man. And there goes the thing. Remember in the beginning, I said for people who are afraid to buy courses because we only learn by mistakes or mentors, right? Those same people, I say to them, how much is it costing you not to get in that information, right? It's the same thing with your credit. When I tell people, because I got one of my companies is a financial services company, Capital Beez, right? Now in Capital Beez, people are coming because they want to get business funding. We help to stack them to get all this funding at one time in their business credit. But then some people can't qualify because sometimes it requires a PG. So we say, oh, well, you have to fix your credit. And he's like, how much to fix credit? They may hear $1,000. Then they're going to be like, oh, I don't know if I want to spend $1,000, right? How much is it costing you not to fix your credit? Because if you don't fix your credit, are you willing to spend more on that car that you're going to buy? Are you willing to spend more on the mortgage that you're going to try to get? Everything that you want to do later on is going to cost you more if you don't want to fix your credit now. To spend that $1,000 where you're going to spend multiples of $1,000 later on. Right. So it definitely resonates with me with what you're saying, Princess. What I want you to talk a little bit before we go to Justin too is also explain, like, so, you know, points, cash back, that type of stuff too. How you can really utilize your credit to live the life that we've been living.
Yo, so check this out. I know if anybody here follows me, I know y'all been seeing me, you know, going to Saks and the deal and stuff like that. But people don't know, I literally don't pay for none of those designer things. And I have a business too, so some of that stuff is a tax write-off. So I literally debit my credit, turn my cash into reward points to go out and buy Louis Vuitton, Dior, Fashion Nova, even Target, to buy free groceries too as well. I get free gas just by having the credit. So American Express, when I go fill up my tank, I use my American Express Gold card. I get 4 times the reward points to where now those points, I use those points to pay for my gas. So it's free. You know what I mean? That's the way I live my free 99 lifestyle. And I also do, you know, credit hack, manufacturing spending, which I'm get into because, you know, it's a little But I literally, I'm just blessed and fortunate that I just learned how to fix my credit last year to where now I know how to do these credit hacks to get free gas, free groceries, free clothes. You know what I mean? I can literally pay my rent based off me having great credit. I use my reward points turn to cash by having a Charles Schwab Amex Platinum card, which is a broker's account. And you can literally transfer your points from American Express into a broker's account and turn them into cash too as well. That's another play, you know, I run if I want to pay, you know, my rent, which is high because I live in downtown LA and I got a little star rise in Atlanta too as well. So, you know, this is the power of having, you know, great credit because you can leverage it and get free stuff, which I love. And I really run these plays and I don't fluff nobody because that people be seeing because they'll call me out.
There you go. You see what I'm talking about? That free 99, that free, baby. Like, I tell people that, yo, I don't pay for groceries. I don't pay for electricity, those type of things. And they're like, well, you got all this money. How you ain't paying for it? I'm like, because that's what the rich do. We figure out ways to not pay for stuff, right? Now, you mentioned write it off. And at that very moment, I brought in my guy, Michelle Valbrun. What's good, man? Had to write it off, GOAT. Michelle, have you met Princess and have you met Justin already?
Yeah, I already know Princess. I know we're about to do some great business together. And Justin, I'm familiar with Justin. I think I probably met him one time at an event. But I know the great work that you're doing with course creations and all that. Princess Mogul.
Princess the Mogul, you know. Michelle, give a quick introduction about who you are and what you do to the people, bro.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I appreciate y'all having me. It's my Robert, aka Money Bitch, tax strategist, award-winning author. Basically, what help y'all do is save 5 to 7 figures in taxes ethically. So basically, giving y'all the game on how to go ahead and write off those things and be able to deduct it for business purposes. Princess mentioned paying your children through the business, riding out G-Wagons, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, basically showing you how to turn your lifestyle into a tax write-off, and then also using that as a way to create wealth, because not how much you earn, it's how much you keep. So that's what we're doing on this side. So that's what I got.
Facts is not how much you earn, it's how much you keep. That's what's up. Bars again. So okay. So today we've been talking about courses and credit, right? So we already know Justin is the courses guru. You already know Princess, that mogul, the credit mogul. She knows she got the game on lock, right? So now we in business. We got courses. We learning from these courses. Some people are then turning around and creating courses based off of what they know and based off of what the people tell them to create, like Justin said. So, Michelle, how do we, let's give a quick drop, a quick dime, whatever you can, on what do we do next? How do we prepare for tax season? Not just about filing taxes, but prepare our tax strategy.
Oh, that's a major key, and it's a perfect time to do it too, right? So we are at the end of the year, fourth quarter. There's still time and opportunities for y'all to save money on taxes. And the reason why it's so important, I always tell people this: when you make money, you pay income tax. When you buy something, you pay sales tax. When you buy property, you pay property tax. When you sell a property for more than what you paid for, you pay capital gains tax. And when you die, right, someone's potentially paying estate tax. But even when you add up all those taxes, that's like 50% taxes without having a tax plan. But the biggest tax of them all is what I call ignorance tax.
Ooh.
Hey,
you heard.
When you don't understand the tax code. When I say ignorance, y'all, I'm the root lack of knowledge, lack of information. So really the goal for us is to make sure we get that information, get that knowledge. And that's what it is. Because really in the United States, there's a big misconception that there's two different tax codes. There's one for the rich, there's one for the poor. And, you know, when you really break it down, it's not really like that. It's really one for the ignorant and the enlightened. You know what I mean? So you can be enlightened about the tax code, you save money on tax. Really, when it comes to saving money on taxes, you want to make sure that you go ahead and proactively save money on taxes, right? So by the time tax season hits, it's too late. And I don't care who you work with, right? If they're doing things legally and ethically, which is key, there's only so much they can do with that tax return because it's based on information from the prior year. So really want to be proactive with saving money on taxes. One of the ways to do that is by maximizing deductions. As previous Dior talked about, deductions are a tax write-off, which is an expense for the business, right? And then as it relates to being able to write things off for your business, there's 4 requirements by the I to the R to the S. The alphabet boys, basically to be able to write things off for your business, you want to make sure you meet these 4 requirements. I call them tax-free deductions, tax-free write-offs, however you want to call it. Free is the acronym. The first part of that is it needs to be F for your trade, business, or profession. So the expense related to your specific trade or business, then you can write that off. The second part of that is it needs to be considered regular for that business. Ordinary is what the IRS calls that. The third part of that is it needs to be essential for the business. The IRS calls that necessary. And last but not least, it needs to be considered economical, meaning that it can be lavish or extravagant. Meaning, for instance, if you're just starting off a business, you know what I'm saying, it might not make sense for you to be able to write off $5,000 for a meal or write off a $150,000 car. So it needs to make sense for your business. So your business needs to be making enough money. But tying it back with the credit is this. One of the beautiful things about credit is that you actually don't have to come out of pocket to be able to write it off. Meaning that this, you go ahead and use that credit, that credit card, and you swipe it, then you're able to deduct. So one of the tax strategies, I'm gonna give y'all a quick tax strategy, is before the year's over, a tax write-off for this year, you could prepay for your expenses for next year and be able to deduct it for the tax return this year. Meaning that if you about to pay, if you want to go ahead and pay for PR for 2022, you can go ahead and pay that depending on the accounting method that you're using, right? But if the accounting method, you can go ahead and do it this way. Prepay for different expenses, whether it's a PR services, advertising, whatever the case is, pay that before the year's over. You can take that as a tax write-off for the current year. That's one thing. Another thing to with credit is that, like I said, go ahead and buy these things, and while you're paying off your credit card, you can be able to, you're paying down the credit card, but even if you're only paying, like making a minimum payment, which I'm not telling you to do that, but you're just doing the minimum payments, you're really still able to deduct for the expense. So that's going to be key too. But that's a quick, I'm not trying to crazy with the end, talking about courses as well, right? So courses,
education,
the key, right, to be able to write things off. So one of the things that I spend, if you look at my accounting records, I got a big line item for education, seminars. I'm always masterminds, programs, courses, and that's a beautiful way for you to be able to invest in your business, invest in yourself, because you can use that as a tax write-off as well, because it's helping you be able to generate more business and more profit for yourself. Once you learn a certain skill specifically for the business that you're in, then that's a way for you to be able to save some money on taxes as well. So
there we go. There we go. See, another value point of why you should not be making excuses to invest in those courses, because you're investing in yourself. You're investing in your business. You can write it off. There's so much that goes into this. You just got to look at the bigger picture. Michelle, I appreciate that, brother. I want you to give one more bar, but I'm going to go to Justin first. And when we come back to you, I want you to explain the G-Wagon. All right. We come back to that. Justin, my brother. So now we're talking about these courses. A lot of people still like, yo, I don't know. Should I invest in Beez? I don't know if I trust this guy. I don't know if I trust this Michelle dude. I don't know where he just came from. Who this Princess Dior mogul? Why she call herself the mogul? So tell the people, like, when it comes to courses, right? What should they look out for? If they're looking at, how often a course is updated or any other information that you've seen in the course world, that's maybe it's a red flag, since we all talking about red flags recently. What's a red flag in the course world?
Yeah, most definitely, man. So like for me, I I look at it like this, man. I've been doing this for past 13 years. Somebody called me an OG in the store today. They saw me. I said, "Oh man, I'm getting old out here in the street." but you know, the biggest thing, man, is you have to have legitimacy to your business. Like, people look at digital courses as something that's like a fly-by-night, some videos that they selling, right? So whenever I do business with anybody, I'm looking at, you know, do they have a customer? Do they actually have a team behind them, right? Do they have a customer support team I could reach out to them? Do they actually have a help desk I could reach out to? Those are like things that I look for, like legitimacy in an actual business, right? That's one. Number two, you can tell, like, I think it's way really important, man, people invest in their brand and to separate themselves from everybody else, right? Like, we live in a time, man, where everybody is an expert. Like you said it earlier, right? Like, there's so many people out here, anybody can become an expert. Yeah. So I think it's important that you really, really invest in your brand, invest in, you know, your marketing. I'm looking at whenever I invest, man, in any, like, I just invested like $50K into a mastermind, right? And the first thing I did is, you know, because I invest over $100,000 every single year into myself, into courses, education, mentors. The first thing is you got to have a circle that you can run these things by, right? You got to have a heavy circle. I call it my heavy circle. I got my, you know, back in the day circle. You know, I may limit my time with them a little bit because we think much different, but they're still my homies, right? Yeah. But then I got my inner circle. You know, it's like Beez. It's like people I call and I talk to that they think like me. They have the same process like me. They have the same frameworks. They have the same value system. They think exactly like me. So what I do is I hit you. You gotta have that. Otherwise, you're gonna be, you know, taken to the range, as I say, by these fly-by-night experts who ain't gonna be around in 3 or 4 years because they don't have any ethics and they don't have a real business. So they don't have the cash because they only making their money by selling courses. Right? I just seen them. I work with them, and I tell them the same truth. So you guys got to look out for that, man. And if you see people in the same circle, don't mean that they necessarily legitimate. But let me tell you, it definitely see. Like, all you got to do is ask people, man, what you think. That's what I want people to say about me. When people say they work with me, I want people to say, man, that dude is the truth. He went above and beyond. His products is fire. He helped people. You got case studies coming out. You see all these case studies. If you don't see case studies, especially if you're selling something that makes people money, then you got to refine your product, right? When I see fire case studies and I can run that by my circle, I know I'm a part of something winning. And from there, I used to invest in all these products, man. And I was like, man, why did I buy this stuff? But then here's the second piece, man. Sometimes it's user error, and we don't even know it.
That is facts. What's the percentage? The percentage of people that take courses and don't even finish watching or going through it? It's
so
like
a statistic, right? Even on our platform, Maestro, only about 10% of people complete full online courses, right? So the structure of that, people say, well, that's not encouraging. Well, there's two sides to that. It's the way you structure a course, which a lot of people don't structure their course properly to get people to finish, right? Because they got a lot of flack and a lot of fluff, and they don't understand user psychology, right? So that's one thing. Number two is the user error, right? It's us. It's like, if you invest, like me, whenever I buy a course, I'm focusing on this course. I'm putting it in my calendar. I'm making it happen. I'm going to finish this thing, even though I got all of this stuff that I'm doing, right? So I believe that, and this is especially if you're a course creator, you can't just think that a course is just you sitting in front of the camera and telling your stories. Like, you got to understand how people think to get them to the end result. People didn't buy a course to hear you talk for 20 hours. I mean, I bought a course the other day, man. I really love this brother's personality, man. Bought the course. I opened it up. The first video, man, was 3 hours. And I'm like, okay, there's some fire in this joint. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna watch 3 hours. Maybe he got some fire. And the first hour, he telling the whole story and didn't get to the point yet. You got to understand, man, people's attention is there. So I feel like we got to just really know how to structure products the right way and keep people's attention and really understand how we can increase that. You feel me? So that's one of the ways I would do it.
Nice. I love it. So
Beez, real quick. I want to touch on like 2 points.
Yeah.
Number one is like the accountability, having your own circle. Like I just finally just had like success in my business in March. And like last October, I met Beez around the same time.
Yep.
In Atlanta, and we literally had a talk. We went off the lunch. It was like, I think it was breakfast, and I asked him. One question I asked him, I said, "Well, how did you get your first $1 million? What did you do with it?" And he told me, right? So I experienced what he told me, and then in March, I made like 6 figures in 60 days. But that's due to the success of me getting on the PJ with, I think it was like 14 men, me being the only woman, and just hanging out with people who have more money than me. And I was probably the only person on this private jet with a 9 to 5 too as well. And I literally was living paycheck to paycheck, but I invested in myself, going to Atlanta, paying $5,000 for a mentor. And that $5,000 got me into a great network with Beez, Andy, Terrence, all these 6-7 figure earners when I wasn't even making that much money. But having the experience and being in a network with those people like motivates you to do better. You know what I mean? You don't want to be like, I was in my head, I'm like, I just don't want to be the 9 to 5er. You know what I mean? I want to be able to get the checks sometimes, So that really made me, step my game up. That, and then number 2 with the courses, I think I finished him 500 course, the first course, the financial literacy course, because he broke it down into a 5 to 8 minute segment. So it made me hunger to know to go into the next video and stuff like that. So I think it's important for people to make courses and make them 5 to 8 minutes to make people more curious to go to the next point and the next point, because that helps somebody finish the whole course too as well. If you break it down to 5 to 8 segments instead of having like an hour course on each segment.
That's how I know she's the truth, because that's actually the recommendation I tell people. I say your video should be 5 to 8 minutes. She didn't even know I was gonna say that. I didn't
That's how you know it's facts. It's facts for sure. I love it. So see, this is how we all connecting this together, right? Everything is like a puzzle, right? A lot of times we sit there, we talk ourselves out of what we can accomplish, but you have people that are literally paving the way for you, right? That's why I tell people I'm not a motivational speaker, because you got to motivate yourself. But I'm an inspirational speaker because I can inspire you to see what is possible. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to keep doing more, right? People been like, "Oh, you're doing great. You're making money." Yeah, but I ain't making to that billion yet, right? And it ain't about the money. It's about the time freedom for me. But I do have more and more goals. And one thing I always hear some of my successful friends, so all of them right here and so many others, we always say that, when you hit one goal, that should be the start of your next goal. You know what I'm saying? Some people hit that goal and you're like, okay, I'm chilling. And I was one of those people. I ain't gonna lie. I remember when I was working in my corporate career, I was making $200K. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I'm straight chilling. I didn't even think that I could make 7 figures. When I hit my first 7 figures, I was like, damn, I done made it. I was chilling. I didn't think I could keep going beyond that. Then, I started meeting the right people and realizing that we started talking about, I don't make $1 million in a day. I was like, what? Like, hold up. So now I'm like, shit, now I got to focus on that. I haven't made my $1 million in a day. I did the month, but I ain't do the day. So I'm like, damn, I'm still trying to figure out how to get it done, but I'm going to get it done. I'll tell you that much. I'm going to get it done, but it's because I got the right sparring partners around me, right? It ain't competition. Me and Princess, we in somewhat of the same area. She in credit. I'm in finances and credit as well. But I'm like, Princess, come on here. You talk about credit. You drop the gems. I could go into it myself. But no, we collaborating because it's not competition. It's sparring partners, right? We helping each other. We sparring and we like, okay, now I'm getting better. Like, oh, you found something new about credit? I didn't know that. Oh, that's what's up. Let me tell you something about Turo. Matter of fact, everybody was at my event this weekend. We was in the warehouse with we probably got about almost 2 million worth of assets and cars in there, right? Everybody's like, damn, this is awesome. How long ago you started in car rental? I was like, it was just last year. They're like, damn, all of this in that short time? Guess who put me on to it? Princess and Maddie are the ones that told me about that shit. They was like, oh yeah, you could turn a liability into asset. I was like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? And then we went in. I was like, okay, say less. And then I went all in from there, you know? So that's having the right people around you 100%.
I want to add to that point too, man. You touched on something crazy that I gotta touch on that one, man. Because I think, man, people always out here thinking, man, like they don't understand, man. Your closest allies, man, are the people that can build you up. But not only just that, man, it's people in your industry right now that do what you do that y'all can actually corner a market if y'all actually came together, right? And people, like, they so limited in their thinking. They're like, well, I do credit and you do credit and you in finance, so we ain't gonna do no business together. Like, I remember I was in a seminar one time and there was this lady that did courses, and I came in the room and I said, man, I wanted to talk to her. She was squirming all around the room, leaving like she didn't want to meet me because she knew who I was. And I'm like, I ain't gonna bite. It's all good. Like we can I want to do some joint ventures with you. And she missed out on a big opportunity because she could have been in front of my audience who would have purchased her product and didn't even know it. But see, this that mindset. I know y'all. Shout out to my man. I see him in the comments. My man featuring Jose. We know Jose. That's my guy. That's my road dog. One of the best in the business when it comes to courses. We seen each other at Sleepers for Suckers event. We seen him. He knew I did courses. He did courses, but he do things that I don't do. And we decided to partner up and start networking with each other and doing some amazing things, man. So one thing I would say is like, leave the door open. If a person doing what you're doing, man, you missing out on opportunities by not like just linking up and doing some powerful stuff together.
Before I bring it back to Michelle, I gotta say shout out to everybody who bought badges again. Destiny_Inspire, AJ. Destiny, I met you this weekend. As a matter of fact, that's what's up. AJ, the CEO, Wheel Tips Joe, my guy, Wheel Tips Joe, man, really cool dude. Met him at the event this weekend too. Be better to yourself. Be better, my guy. EES_Wealth Builders. Yo, everybody buying badges. Much love, appreciation is going towards our charity event that's happening November 12th. The whole city gonna be out there, and entrepreneurs from all across the country gonna be out there. Politicians, the police coming out to help. Damn, who else? There's so many people coming out. It's gonna be amazing. So stay tuned for that. Now, Michelle, please.
Well, I love this. My bad. I'm gonna jump in real quick on that competition, collaboration on the competition of this topic. You know what I'm saying? So we just did an event, Paid in Full in Atlanta. Fire event. I had so many entrepreneurs pull up. People coming and speaking. But listen, a lot of the people I brought up on that stage, like first of all, I partnered and did the event with another CPA, right, business partner who's killing it. You know, has a smaller phone than me, whatever the case is. But I saw that she was a beast and a goat at what she does, and I was just like, yo, it makes perfect sense for us to collab and build with one another. I didn't have a big following, and really into like the actual service delivery, technical aspect of it, and really what I want was exemplify and put that out there. So like people that we have pull up, literally people who are in the tech, accounting industry, from all different types of industry, and we're all really together. Because one of the things with me is that, like I call my bitch, I call the event Paid in Full of the movie, and there's a line in the movie that where one of the characters said, everybody eats.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And there's 7 billion people out here, and there's no, even if we get less than 1% of that 7 billion, we could all eat.
Hell yeah.
There's plenty of food, plenty of opportunities. So no, I love that conversation.
Yo.
And that's what it's about, you know. And it's boring to do by yourself. Like I want to be able to have sparring partners. I want to be able to build and learn some things, or whatever the case is. And that was the thing with me. I was speakers. You killed it. You were dropping crazy game or whatever about things I didn't even know. And it's fire.
Oh man, hey, it was a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me onto your stage, man. It was amazing event, yo. This is one of the best events that I've been to, right? Not just as a speaker, but even as an attendee. The energy, the people that came in, the people that spoke, the networking after. It was just insane. I loved it, man. And you set the bar high, you and my guy Marvin, man. And listen, I'm just so excited about 2022. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about, You know what we gonna do next year? What we've done this year and in 2020, yo, it just keeps getting better. So I'm excited about it. I'm super excited, and I can't wait for more. But listen, I gotta hear because I'm already doing this, but I want you to tell about the G-Wagon strategy. Let's go.
Let's talk about it. All right, so G-Wagon strategy. And I call it the G-Wagon because everyone likes to talk about the G-Wagon, but really basically what one of the things is in the tax code, you're able to write vehicle expenses, right? So there's two ways to write off vehicle expenses. You got the standard way where you're basically up for every business mile you're driving. So if you're going to a conference, seminar, going to a business meal, whatever the case is, then you're able to that. What up, Ellie?
Shout out to Ellie.
That's the standard way. That's the simplest way to do it. That's what I recommend for you to do if you're just starting off in business. But if you are a business owner, you're making a good amount of money, right? Usually, I recommend 3 times to 5 times more than what the vehicle cost is. Then you could go ahead and write off a vehicle. And the way to do that is this: if the vehicle weighs over 50 pounds, which is usually like an SUV, the G-Wagon, there's other vehicles that meet that recommendation, then you are able to go ahead and write it off. And the way to do that, right? So the first thing that you want to do, or want to make sure that you're doing to do it the best practice way, is to make sure you go ahead and get it under your business name. I heard my guy Beez talking about PG. So if you don't have business credit built up, whatever the case is, then you go ahead and PG, personal guarantor, and co-sign for your business personal credit to be able to qualify for it, right? You want to make sure you get it under your business name. You also want to make sure it's over 6,000 pounds, all right? And you also want to make sure that you make enough money in your business to be able to go ahead and write that off, right? Because, like I said, in that free requirement, it needs to be economical, so it can't be lavish or extravagant under the circumstances. So if your business is making multi-millions, that's an easy play for business. Making $10,000 might not necessarily be the best thing for you. And the other requirements that you need to place it in service before the end of the year, meaning that you need to go ahead with that vehicle before the year is over to be able to qualify for a business as service. It's going to be based on the percentage, all right? So one of the things that you want to make sure you're doing is also document the mileage that you're using for it. So basically, you want to look at the miles and see, okay, how much am I using for business? How much am I using it for personal? If it's more than 50%, you want to document that percentage. So if you're using it for 70% of business, then you get 70% of the full write-off in that year. 100%, you can go ahead and go for 100%. But the thing about it is, if you say it might be like a red flag for the IRS to be like, hold on, this is cap. So you're telling me that you're using this car 100%. All you do with this car is business. So the way to do it and the kind of workaround is to also have another vehicle that's using for personal reasons to say, no, I'm using this for business, and I got this vehicle over here for personal. That's how you're able to do it. So that's a quick, simplified IG live.
Listen. I want everybody dropping gems in the chat right now. I want to see them gems in the chat right now because y'all are getting some bars tonight. Listen, drop them gems in the chat right now. What Michelle just went over is insane, right? This is something that people will just be like, yo, what? Like, hold up. I could write off a G-Wagon, and it doesn't have to be a G-Wagon, right? For example, I got like my Jeeps, my Gladiators. I can write that off completely. It's completely hooked up too. I can write it off. And at a percentage, I happen to have other cars, so I can put this one at 100 as long as my business is making more 3 to 5 times that amount, the cost of the car, which it is. So, bam, I'm good. Write-offs, baby.
And going back to that credit, dude, don't think about it. People like, yo, do I have to pay the whole thing in cash? The whole thing to be, it's like, no. It's based on the purchase price. That's why you gotta leverage credit, right? So basically, a deposit on the vehicle, but still be able to write off the whole purchase. If you meet those qualifications, make sure you talk to your tax professional about it. Got to put that out there, but that's the way it's done. And you can do it with vehicles that weigh under 6,000 pounds, but it's going to be based on what's called a depreciation table. So depreciation is basically writing off an asset time. So the first year you can write off if you're including bonus depreciation, you can write off 18,100. Next year, 16,000. It kind of goes to like a sliding scale. But the way to do the 100% is using the section called Section 179 plus bonus depreciation, write off the whole thing, and then that's a big tax write. And you got people like someone just mentioned, Grant Cardone.
Yep.
Who runs that plane with a private jet? You could do a jet. You could do that with boats. You could do that with any type of business asset. As long as you make enough money. Someone like 50 Cent, he had a big tax bill at the year. He's just like, yo, my guy told me I got to pay XYZ in taxes. He bought like 5 cars.
Mm-hmm. and the thing is, they're buying things that they're turning into assets too, right? So now you go buy these cars, you're gonna be renting them out, right? But you also have these cars. You reduced your tax bill, but now you got something that's gonna generate some revenue for you. We got to be smart about everything that we do. We can't just jump in and be like, hey, let me just go get some shit. Let me go buy a ton of Jordan 1s. I'm just going to, run up the bill. No, what you going to do with them ones? You about to sell them or something? I don't know, but you got to be smart about how you're doing this. Shout out to Sierra ESQ. I see Sierra up in there. Shout out to my attorney, Rosetta Upshaw. Shout out to everybody. Where's Ellie? She went away, but shout out to everyone up in here. Much love to everybody that is buying badges again. BS Billionaire, Jayla Global Media, my brother featuring Jose, Square Biz, everybody that's buying badges. Thank you again. Everybody, I hope y'all come out to the November 12th event in Miramar, Florida. That's like right on the border between Miami and Fort Lauderdale. And we're going to buy out this Walmart. The news was there last year. It was only like 10 of us or so last year. And I think we spent, I forget how much we spent right now, actually. But we bought up the entire, everything that could be a gift. Nikki, this is Nikki's. What's good? Another GOAT. I love Nikki, man. I say that every single time she come on. We got the power team right there between Jose, Nikki. Yo, that is where it's at, but that's all love. This is the type of people that we keep around us, yo. This is the type of people, the energy, the knowledge, the always grinding, the hustle. Listen, yo, featuring Jose said, shutting down the Walmart. We are doing it November 12th. Make sure that y'all stay tuned. All the information is going out this week. I want all of my entrepreneur friends to come out to it. It's going to be insane. Yo, don't miss this. Sierra says Saturday was beautiful. That was the precursor for our November to Remember charity event. We had our Hive community networking event on Saturday. Like 200 people came out, speakers. The food was in. I'm still talking about this food, yo. The food was insane. Listen, there was this. It's a new partner. I told them they're gonna be one of our official providers now. It's a food truck called Reggae Beats, Beets, like beats, like the roots, beats, and it's half vegan and half not. Separate suppression systems so that because vegans don't want you can't use the same utensils, you can't have the vapors from the chicken and nothing. So it was like separate suppression systems. I had this jerk chicken quesadilla, was the best jerk chicken I ever had in my life, and I'm from Jamaica, grew up in Jamaica, and it's the best jerk chicken I ever had. Yo, it was insane. But yeah, it was an amazing event. I'm so happy that all the entrepreneurs came out from South Florida and from so many other places. But let's keep it going. Let's keep it going because we got a little bit more time. I don't want to make it too long tonight, and I think the people are having it right now. He was there. The chicken quesadilla. There you go. You see what I'm saying? Yo, so Princess, real quick, go into, since people were coming to the event, right? And it was some of them was last minute. It was like, yo, tap in. Beez having this event. All of these top speakers. Shad the Boat Goat was there. Sierra ESQ. Jay White with government contracting. Marcus Rozier with funnels and automation, right? We had Kamoy. We had Tristan. We had so many. And people was like, yo, I'm hopping on a plane right away. Tell the people, how can they do that when it comes to credit?
Yo, so I want to get real spicy.
There we go.
It's gonna be recorded. Are you gonna post this?
The recording will this, what is it? The recording will self-detonate in one day. I will leave it up for one day.
I'm gonna give a medium slice.
There we go.
So look, check this out. So this is how I'll be able to fly last minute. So I just literally went to one of my NFL clients told me to come to the J. Cole concert Saturday. So we literally flew out 24-hour trip, went to J. Cole concert because we had comp tickets. The only way I did that, because I leveraged my Southwest credit card. I use my reward points. So check this out. Southwest is running a special. You get 40,000 reward points if you spend $1,000. That's it. $1,000. You literally get 40,000 points, right? Also, we're American Express, Barclays Aviator card. You spend $1, you get 60,000 reward points too as well. And another one, Delta Airlines. If you love Delta, shout out to my Atlanta homies, my Miami homies. I know y'all Delta yourself to this because y'all rich. It's y'all first class selves. They running a special too. I think if you spend like $3,000 to $5,000, you get 90,000 reward points. And literally, those points can pay, for a trip to Miami, to Atlanta last minute, even overseas too as well. I went to Greece in August, and I got first class by just leveraging my reward points using my American Express card. And I literally got upgraded to first class free too as well. So those are other perks you can run. It don't even cost that much. In a way for somebody to hit their sign-up bonus super fast is manufacturer spending. So I'm just gonna drop.
We don't go into different. We ain't gonna go into manufacturer spend. If y'all want to learn about manufacturer spend, tap in with Princess. Tap in with her mentorship. Tap in with the BBI, the Business Builders Institute. That's where y'all can learn about manufacturer spend. Cause y'all gotta be careful.
I ain't gonna talk about it. But that's one way you can get the reward points super fast though. Just using Southwest, Delta, hitting the sign up on it super fast, and literally you get those points within I think 2 weeks or 30 days in a different billing cycle.
There we
go.
go.
You can leverage that to get the free flights.
There we go. So I saw my attorney just ask, is it okay to have that many cards? Let me tell y'all. First of all, this is one wallet, right? And in this wallet, I got, oh wait, I'm turning it the wrong way. Can't see the numbers. In this wallet, I got all of these, right? But I got here's another wallet that has others in it, right? Right? So, well, actually, some of these are debits, but we don't use debit cards, right? Now, let me explain something. First of all, I got a spreadsheet. This spreadsheet for every company I own and every bank that I've ever dealt with, I have them in a matrix. And then I say, okay, this company has this card, this card, this card. This company has these cards, these cards, these cards, right? Then I have another spreadsheet or another sheet within that spreadsheet that says, okay, here's the name of the card, here's the credit limit, here's the sorry, y'all hearing my dog and she distracted me. Yeah, here's the due date and the statement date, right? And here is the last date that I got a credit limit increase. So I track everything. And now I'll say, okay, these dates, I separate. Oh, damn, I'm going in. Should I go into this? Oh, Princess, I don't know if I should. Yeah, I'll tell them a little. Okay. Now, statement date and due date. When you hear the due date, you think to yourself, oh, that's when I got to pay my bill. Yes, that is when you are obligated to the financial institution that is providing you with a credit card to pay the bill. But that's not the important date for you. The more important date for you is the statement date, which is typically 2 or 3, sometimes 5 days after the due date. Now, here's the problem. A lot of people pay on the due date. Then they're like, okay, it's paid. Good. Let me run it up. The next day they run it up. But a couple days after is the statement date. That statement date is when they report to the credit bureau, right? So now you ran it up 2 days after because you're like, oh, I paid my bill. I'm good. Then they reported that you ran it up and now you see a high balance and now your credit score drops. Why? Because the statement date is what you neglected, right? So what we do, people like me and Princess, is we take all of these cards, we have them structured out on these spreadsheets, and then we'll even manipulate the dates. We'll say, hey, let me group. If I got $100,000 worth of cards, I'm going to split 50,000 and put it towards the beginning of the month, right? The due date, which then affects the statement date. So now the due date is around the 12th. Then I'm going to take the other 50,000 and change the due dates for all of them to be later. 2 weeks later, 22nd, 24th, something like that, right? Now, I shouldn't say much of what we could do here, but let me stop here and just say that. Let me just say that by doing this, now I'm also paying attention to when my statement date is. I'm paying it. I have everything on auto pay too, right? Don't run these up if you're not generating cash flow, right? So I have these on auto pay, and then I make sure that I'm always looking at my statement date before I'm using a specific card, because now I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna use this card, but no, the due date's coming up soon, which means the statement date, which also means I need to then figure out how to, I need to get cash to pay it. And if I wanted to hide my utilization, which I don't need to because I paid them all off, because I separated them into two categories, two groups of dates, I could then MS, which we ain't gonna talk too much deep about what that is, manufacturer spend these cards to then pay off these cards. And then as the next date is coming up, I could do the same down here and keep it going, right? This is how we hide utilization. This is how we manage our cards. This is how we're intentional about what we're spending, when we're spending, with which card we're spending. I'm not going to spend on a specific card that's not going to give me the most rewards. I have an app, and I'm speaking fast on purpose. I have an app called Card Pointers. Card Pointers tells me, oh, your Discover card this quarter is you get 5% back on Amazon, on Walmart. Okay, now every time I spend at Amazon or Walmart, I'm only using this card during this quarter. Oh, this card is giving you a bonus right now that's giving you X amount back in this store. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna use that card when I'm going to this store. So I'm intentional about everything that I do with all of these cards. And this is not this ain't for the weak, right? Because if you're not organized, this can overload you 100%. But I got cash flow going in my business. I also got structure, not only my business, but how I manage the cards, right? So that's the overview I wanted to give y'all on, yes, having all these cards, and I want more. I want more because it's OPM, other people's money, right? And we'll talk about other people's money. We did that, I think last week was that was our topic last week, but we'll talk more about OPM another time. All right, so fellas and lady, before we wrap it up, I want each of you to give, this is how I like to end all of my calls now. I want each of you to give the community one bad thing that they should be aware of or wary of. Like, what bad thing you need to be wary of with credit? What bad thing you want to be wary of with your taxes and how you write things off? What bad thing you want to be wary of when it comes to either buying a course or creating your own course? Because a lot of times gurus are out here, teachers are out here, we telling all the great shit. Oh, I'm making millions of dollars. Everything's great. Everything's rosy. But they don't tell the bad stuff. And there's nothing wrong with having bad stuff. You just got to be aware of it so that you can overcome that obstacle. That's why we are entrepreneurs, because we overcome obstacles, right? So each of you, I would like for y'all to go around and tell something bad that people should be wary about. Whoever want to go first, take it up. True King said, I need a podcast. I hear you.
Y'all done already dropped y'all bars. So you know what I'm saying? I got to at least drop a bar in there. You know what I mean? So
let's get it.
One of the bad things, man, that you can do, especially like how y'all talking about credit, right? So here's how I flip credit into cash flow, right? How to flip credit into cash flow. So when you sell, let's say your course, you selling things, one of the reasons why people don't scale is because I call it like the follow a guru pattern, right? Like you following up behind gurus. So you trying to get customers to your course. So you say, I'm gonna do Facebook ads. I'm gonna do what they doing. I'm gonna build on Instagram. Man, that is one of the most detrimental things you can do to your business, right? Let me tell y'all something, man. It is so many ways out here to get customers. Let me say that again. It is so many ways that I didn't even have access to 10 years ago to get customers. So here's what I do. When I go and do research and I see my competition, let's say I'm trying to get sales for my course. This is how we run up courses to 50, 100K a month, right? Because what we do is instead of just selling, I'm not talking about selling one-off courses. I'm talking about really strategically scaling an actual course to 6 or 7 figures. I go out there and see what all my competitors are doing, right? And I run in the opposite direction. If I see all of them doing Facebook ads, I'm like, it's a source out there that they're not using. And I tap into the source, right? So there literally your competitors, there's some things that they're doing that you are not doing. So here's like, give you an example of this, right? I'm gonna give y'all a hack. Some Beez and y'all dropping these gems. Give y'all a hack of how I actually ran up a course in 7 figures. Here's what I did. When you think about it, everybody trying to do ads and Facebook ads and all this other stuff, here's what I do. There's a lot of influencers out there that have email lists that they don't capitalize on. Now hear this, right? They do not capitalize on their email list. You may think because somebody has 100, 200, 300,000 followers that they know how to monetize that audience. It's simply not true. You'd be surprised at how many people with that large amount of influence, they don't know how to tap into it. So here's what I did back in the day when I didn't have a whole lot of coins to get started. I took some credit and I started testing 4 different things. So I would test YouTube ads, Facebook ads, TikTok ads wasn't around. But here's what I started figuring out. I reached out to these influencers. I said, hey, I would love to buy an ad from your email list where you can mail on my behalf to your email list.
Can I get some gems to drop?
Right? Everybody's gonna tell you to run Facebook ads, but this is something that nobody else is doing. So what I would do is reach out to them and say, hey, can I buy a small ad? Or hey, can we do a joint venture partnership? But mostly, can I buy an ad for your email list? And they'd be like, okay, I got a 20,000 person email list. It's $150, $200. I put that on my card. Here's the thing. They're going to tell me how many clicks I'm going to get. This is why it's important that you know the numbers of your business. Because when you know how many customers you know, here's the thing. Money becomes a science thing. It ain't no rejection. Like
data.
So if I know that every time I promote this thing and I get 10% buyers, I ain't scared to scale up, baby. Ooh. I know exactly what I can this influencer leverage their audience that they built. You ain't got to build an audience. I'm leveraging their audience because they don't know how to hack into their audience. They don't know how to leverage their own audience to create sales. We did that, man. We blew things out of the water because nobody was doing it. And we still do it to this day. We reach out to people and say, can we buy your email list, or can we buy you mailing out your email list so that we can promote a webinar or, a training, something like that.
Yo. Listen, Michael and JR, those are my assistants right now. They're in the background. I hope y'all heard that, and please let's put it on our strategy so that we can implement that immediately. Thank you. We'll get on that. Yo, that's a bar. I wish I had some. I need some coins or something. I don't know what I got. I'm gonna start dropping them or something because you're dropping gems. So this is just like Let's go, bro. Let's go. All right. Hey, I don't know how you're gonna follow that up. Who's next? Michelle, Princess. But I want something negative. Even though Justin gave us something positive too, he started off by, people don't realize that this Facebook ad game ain't easy, right? So you go out, people be like, I'm just gonna run some ads. Motherfucker, you don't understand how much, especially since iOS 14, you don't understand how much money you could waste running ads, right? So he just gave you a whole bar on how to get around it and get more targeted advertising at cheaper rates. Yo, it's insane. So Michelle, Princess, who's next? What's good?
I'm gonna just jump real quick. 2 comments about what he said. That thing's a real thing. So shout out to Sierra. She can run up 7 figures without any Facebook ads. And literally yesterday, someone tapped into me, told me to blast out an email list on a webinar, and they made money. So and it didn't cost me. I mean, what I'm saying, depending on the shit, but what I'm saying, it didn't cost anything to do that. So that's a big bar. But I'm gonna let the mobile, what I'm saying, ladies.
But not something negative. I'm gonna give you something that people are sleeping on right now, but people are going crazy on right now. It's Turo, right? All these people are running the Bank of America play, going crazy, buying all these cars, 5 to 10 cars, going stupid. But the thing is this: you have all these liabilities, which is an asset right now. But you never know what can happen 6 months or 12 months from now. We might go into another shutdown. Something crazy might happen. We might go into a recession. So it's like, what are you gonna do with all these these cars if nobody can drive them, right? So that's why I tell people, don't over leverage your credit buying all these cars for Turo, private rental and stuff like that. Just do joint ventures. Get 3 to 4 cars yourself, or 3 cars, run it up, and then add on other people's cars to your fleet. So then you're going to have all these liabilities and all these car notes. Because last year, I kid you not, it was probably like 5, I think 5 of the top exotic car rental companies in LA that got shut because we was really on punishment. Like nobody was driving at all. You know what I mean? And they lost millions of dollars and had to move to Las Vegas and like Atlanta and all these other, states that were open. So I tell people all the time, don't over leverage, your credit and believe in the hype of looking at me, Maddie J, pushing man Mitch, Beez, how we getting all these cars, running it up. It's not always this. Sometimes we have down months. You know what I mean? Sometimes, the Lambo might make 30K and then the next month it might make 10. People don't talk about that. People don't talk about, paying their own car note and stuff like that when they go Prius or they Mercedes-Benz 300 when they rent out these cars. People don't talk about when their cars are getting stolen and stuff like that. People don't talk about running insurance claims and not getting the claim money and stuff like that. So I tell people all the time, take your time on building your fleet, do joint ventures with people, partner up with people. Don't over leverage your credit and have all these liabilities that are assets right now, because you never know what can happen 6 to 12 months from now with the, where the economy is right now. Because the economy right now is a little crazy. It's a little sketchy.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's one of my bars I've been telling like my mentees, especially, like, stop buying all these cars. Just do daily deals with people, have people, leverage other people's credit, leverage other people's money, and make money like that. That's how I got into the car rental game. I have access to over 50 plus cars, and I don't own none of those cars, but I make $5,000 to $10,000 part time by renting people's cars out to all over the United States.
There we go. Listen, that is a bar. Listen, because we talk about it all the time. Everybody's just telling you all the good, all the great. It ain't just about the economy, right? On a regular basis, I learned this year. We were doing over 300K a month in the car business alone. And July, August, and most of September dropped to like 30, right? Can you weather the storm when that happens? That wasn't even because of the economy. That was because I'm in Miami and COVID was spiking in Miami. Plus the rainy season hit, and this was my first rainy season. So it was like, oh, damn, people ain't gonna rent in the rain because they can't show off the car that they wanted, the exotics that they want to rent in Miami. So you got to know that, this is business. Shit happens in business. But we, again, are entrepreneurs, and we got to figure out how to get past it. But I want y'all, all of you new entrepreneurs, I want y'all to know these type of things. This is why I ask these questions at the end. What are the negatives that we want to tell the people? All right, so good. I love that one, Princess. Let's go. Michelle, it's on you, brother. What's good?
Hey, man, like we talked about the whole thing, sparring partners. Y'all raised the bar, and I got to come through and sauce them up, and then we all y'all raised the bar, putting pressure on me, but I'm playing. I'm going to just end off with this. So I did a joint called The 10 Tax Commandments. It's a rap song. It's on YouTube. It's on World Star. Literally rapped, use Biggie's 10 crack commandments to break down the tax code. So I'm going to rap number 7 and break down and talk about the importance of it. So 7, this rule is so underrated. Keep your personal business completely separated. Business and love don't mix like politics with no tricks. Find risks. All right, so what I mean by that is this, right? So a lot of times when we're spending money, we talked about maximizing deductions, write-offs, spending money on the business. Y'all need to make sure you keep your business and personal expenses separated. So one of the things that you want to be doing is having a bank account to be able to properly separate that business and personal. Because one of the things that a lot of people don't talk about, LLCs, corporations. I have 2 lawyer sisters in here, Sierra and Rosetta, right? We all talk about the importance of that. But what they also talk about, what I talk about as well, is yes, that LLC corporation can provide you protection against your personal assets, meaning that someone were to come sue your business, your personal assets are protected. Your personal assets being your house, your car, your bank account, all those kind of things. But if your business and your personal expenses are not separated, you're commingling funds, then you could actually pierce what's called the corporate veil, and they can still come out with your money, right? Because let's say your business gets sued, right? Someone slips and falls, has an issue, they take you to court, and they see all the expenses coming out of the same account, you're making everything. The lawyer could literally say, there's no separation between you and this business, and we can come after that house, that car, all these personal assets. So you need to make sure you keep that separated, not only from an accounting standpoint, but also for a legal standpoint, and make sure you're able to maintain LLC corporate. What I got, y'all.
Woo! Listen. I think that's the perfect way.
One more thing, and I think everybody who's making 6 and 7 figures plus, everybody should have a trust too as well to protect their assets. So.
Yeah, we gonna get into the trust discussion next week, I think, because listen.
I just want to throw that out here for people who don't know what that is.
Woo! Listen, she poking the bear right there, because when it comes to the trust, you know, a lot of the things that we're talking about, we're giving you the game on how to prepare and how to, you know, maneuver properly. But a trust can help you to, you know, eliminate a lot of these things. But yeah, that's a different discussion. But that was a perfect way to end it, because Michelle just gave y'all the key. We are creating businesses, right? We don't want to lose them because of stupid things like that. Like stupid mistakes where we're commingling funds, stupid mistakes where we end up piercing a corporate veil, because a savvy attorney can get to your personal side. You think, oh, I got an LLC. It's, you know, it's completely separating my liability, so I'm good. Yeah, okay, but you was commingling funds, bro. So now that since you're saying that those funds are equal or in your business, we could go and take those funds too, right? So you got to be wary of those things. And once again, my purpose for doing these type of closing off our calls like this, where we're talking about the negatives, is because I want people to know that, yo, we not capping out here. We not just telling you the good stuff, because we go through trials and tribulations always, right? Every other day is something else. It's like, God damn, my staff is telling me some next fire and this and that. I think when I was speaking to Michelle today, I was like, yeah, I just got off of, you know, some team calls and putting out some fires. But that's part of business. We all enjoy like our time freedom as bosses, right? So yeah, we got to deal with some stuff. Everybody got to deal with some troubles, but I prefer my troubles over the troubles I had when I was 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, people, I appreciate y'all joining us today. I'm hyped. I'm like, somebody said I need to have a podcast. I already got one with my guy, Van. It is Impact Over Everything podcast on IG, but I am starting another one. And that next podcast, this might be one of the first episodes because what I'm focusing on my podcast are these negatives. I'm focusing on debunking a lot of the things that people are out there doing. And it's not even debunking. It's just showing you the truth behind the curtain. We piercing that Instagram veil. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see me posting and everything is all rosy and everything. I'm always smiling. Everything always looks good. But yo, I be going through some shit in the background too, right? And I'm sure everybody on here do. So we gonna get deep into that. I don't have a name for that podcast yet. If anybody got a suggestion on the name, let me know. But we gonna get in deep. We gonna go. But yo, much love, everybody. Appreciate Michelle is spinning. But Kenny said the Cap'n Veil. Ooh, that might be the name right there. Yo, thanks again to everybody who purchased. What happened? Oh, he came out. Thanks again to everybody who purchased a badge tonight. The badges are going towards our November to Remember charity event, right? We are going to buy out this super Walmart, all of the gifts, everything in there, take it on to 2 charities that we are working with, Kids in Distress and Children's Harbor, right? And we helping the kids. We helping them during the holiday season. We giving back because we have achieved so much. We've grinded to earn so much. So it's only right that we help others as much as we can. And who better to help than the kids? So Justin, Princess, my brother, my sister, Michelle, who got cut off. Oh, there you go. Let me bring him on just to say bye real quick. Hold on. Let me just bring him back on just to say bye. But yo, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate damn, I should read out the badges real quick. Hold up. LTE Light Cap, I think. Thank you for the badges. Drew Romeo, Millionaire Periscope, Goody underscore love my family, featuring Jose, my brother, Destiny Inspire, Corporatepreneur, my dude up in Chicago, CEO Samad, what's good, everybody? Oh, damn, what the hell just happened? Did somebody just, I don't know what just happened. It's like refreshed. Anyway, thank you, everybody. At Mr. MK Live, yo, thank you. Tonight, we raised another $60-something going towards the pot. Overall, we've raised, it must be about $5,000-$6,000 right now between toys and between cash donations. And that's before people like me and all of my entrepreneur friends chip in to make this pot grow even more so we can help more people. So much love to my brothers on here, my sister Princess. Yo, y'all keep doing amazing things. Keep helping our community. Keep helping the next generation. I appreciate y'all, yo. And y'all got y'all back anytime you need me.
Let's get it.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, thanks, Beez.
All right, y'all. Be at peace. Cool.